Good afternoon, everybody. This is Hunter Mozingo bringing you your daily market insight video for Thursday, September 9th. It is a little over 15 minutes after market close here in Jacksonville, Florida, 4:17 p.m. Eastern time approximately. And today we're going to look at 5 relative strength standouts as well as 2 gap ups. But before we do that, let's talk about what just happened. And you can see there it's weak close. However, the G5 was green. The indices looked much better earlier in the day, finished very poorly. We'll look at that on the charts here in just a moment. S&P down about 0.5%, QQQ down about 1/3%, the Dow also down about 0.5%, mid-caps down 0.25%, and the Russell 2000 was really green up until the last second today, but down 0.03%. The G5, the only green one today, up 0.36%. So the market state remains in an uptrend. That has not changed. However, we did see some poor action in the indices today, breaking through some moving averages. We're going to look at that. But that brings me to the trend gauge here. So nothing has changed with market leaders. However, we have moved the little yellow caution arrow under the short term component there right here, moved it over to the left a little bit. As the Dow continues to deteriorate a little bit, mid-cap struggling a little bit as well below the 21. So we're going to look at those charts. The Dow also broke the 50 and closed below it, but today is the first day that that happens. We'll be on watch for a possible caution arrow on the midterm or medium as well. Long term, everything stays as is. So before we go to the charts, as I do in every video, please allow me to reference the team here at Revere. If you have any questions about what we do at Revere, what our strategy is, you can always email me. You can email anybody here, Dan, Tim, Hunter, Meryl, Alex, or Don at revereasset.com. If you have any questions about the video, please email me directly, and I'd be happy to answer those, whether it's questions on a stock, a certain thing I said, a certain level, whatever it may be. Please feel free to send me an email if you would like to. So let's go ahead and get into the charts here, and I'm going to start with the indices. So you can see we've got SPY pulled up here, and I know this is a little bit tough to see right here, but slicing back through this 450 area as we reclaimed it yesterday, essentially only about 1/3% from the 21 EMA. I'm going to show you a 15-minute chart here of SPY, and you're going to see where we pretty much got rejected at where we were kind of seeing some previous support. So that's going to be this 450 area. We just weren't quite able to get back over it. You can see we kind of held up prior in this 451 to 450, and today a little bit of the inverse, ran into resistance and finished very poorly. Let's go to the Qs here. So QQQ, the most extended, actually sitting right on the 8-day, finishing very weak. I mean, for example, I would say, I'll show you a 5-minute here just so you can see the weakness into the close. We were looking much, much better on the Qs up until the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. I'll show you a 1-minute too, just to show you there you go. So this is starting at about 15 minutes until the market closed. Just a very, very, very poor finish to the day. But the Q is pretty much right on the 8. They've gotten a lot less extended over the course of this little consolidation here. Only about 3% from the 50, 1% from the 21. You've also got the Dow, I mentioned, starting to fall apart a little bit. Just not able to get over this declining 21 right here. Is kind of starting to hook down a little bit. This 8 as well. Needs to try and protect this 350 level. Obviously, it did not today. You'd want to see that get back above the 50, get back above that 350 area. Otherwise, it's not the greatest sign, but a very poor close on the Dow as well today. IWM trying to hold up above the 21, as you can see, just sitting right on it. Actually not looking too bad compared to its counterpart mid-caps over here. Mid-caps looking a little bit worse, below the 21 for the time being, but still above the 50. So some pullbacks over the course of the last 3 or 4 days, as well as some consolidations, but getting rejected at some levels today, cutting through, the 50-day for the Dow, getting rejected at the 21 here on the mid cap. So some some not great action or great signs today from some of the indexes. However, there was some really good signs of strength within certain stocks today. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So AMBA, this is a stock that we recently bought and then added to a little bit today as it pushed through these highs of 139.85 right here with volume. You can see the volume on the bottom of the chart here, very explosive. This chart also looks good if you pull it back on a weekly or on a monthly as well. You can see the breakout getting above that 140 level being very important. So strong move from AMBA today, and it pretty much remained strong throughout the day. You can see it closed at the top of the range. Additionally, Upstart, also a holding in Grotection, you can see almost broke the low of yesterday, was down 2 or 3%, maybe even a little bit more than that at one point today, and then finished at 290. So just an incredibly powerful finish from Upstart here. This has been a phenomenal move respecting the 8-day. That's very, very strong, and this is characteristic of a leading stock. Lastly, on the high beta side anyway, as far as the super risky, which I guess all of these have some volatility. DOX, this is a very volatile one, but you can see the strength today up 8%, respecting the 8-day today. You can see how wide some of these candles are, but no doubt, certainly a leader, very, very strong today, and also one that finished near the top of the range. Another name, Moderna, that certainly has been one of the leading stocks. You can tell by this chart, but very strong today on volume. That's what we're looking for, strong action today with volume that finished near the top of the range. That's relative strength, especially on a day where the NASDAQ and the S&P were down 1/4 to 0.5%. So Moderna up 8% with volume. That's the relative strength that we're looking for. And then lastly, ASAN, also making a new high here on above average volume. So 5 relative strength standouts for you from today to keep at the forefront of your watch list here: ASAN, mRNA, DOX, DOCS, Upstart, UPST, and AMBA. A few more standouts from the day: jets. You had the airlines making a strong move. Shipping companies, for example, like ZIM, very strong today as well, have been in a very strong trend. Snow was another name that was strong today. That's in your kind of your ARKK type of names. You can see this is a very strong uptrend. Snow now respecting the 8-day here. And XME and XOP being some of your stronger sectors for the day. And then lastly, before we go to some of the laggards, the 2 gap ups here, we did start a small position in Lulu today, finished at the bottom of the range. However, massive volume on this one, both after hours yesterday and today. So a gap up, a small starter position, but very big volume, close to 1,000% above average volume on Lulu, and very strong numbers, a very strong EPS number as well. And last gap up here, RH, one that we have talked about and owned in the past, a very strong move today with 437% above average volume. So some, like I said, some pockets of strength that held up very well. You can see this one closed at the top of the range. Lulu did not. But let's go to some of the weak areas, and that's going to be the opposite of G5, right? So your XLU, excuse me, weak today. XLV, healthcare, XLP, also weak today. So your defensive sectors, very weak. XLRE is a good one, down 2% today. It's a pretty big drop for XLRE. It doesn't often have 2% down days. SE also down pretty big today. However, it was not able to get back above the 21. It was above it up until the last 30 minutes, excuse me, to an hour, but not able to close above it. This one maybe got a little bit extended coming back to earth. I would watch for this one to get back above the 21 here. Eli Lilly also down today. Not exactly sure if there was news, but nonetheless, a very harsh break of the 250 level and the 50-day moving average. MSOS, this sector continues to not be able to gain any kind of upwards momentum or strength, being sold off again and rejected at the 21 EMA again. I already covered XLRE, and then 2 laggards in the big tech land. Netflix showing some relative weakness today, as well as Amazon showing a little bit of relative weakness today. I'd keep a close eye on Amazon. If it retests this area here, this is going to be like 34.65, 34.70. Those moving averages starting to curl up beneath it is possibly something to keep your eye on in a positive kind of light for Amazon there. So that is going to wrap up the video, everybody. Thank you for listening. And I will also be doing tomorrow's video. So I'll see you on the podcast this weekend, as well as tomorrow's video, everybody. Hope you have a great night. Thanks.